Good morning. My name is Brian Dustin. Our service leader today is Reverend Laurie. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Saco and Biddeford. We also want to welcome those joining on YouTube and encourage you to have a candle or chalice to light when we light ours here in a few moments. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, whomever you love, we are glad you are here with us today. The theme for the month of January is Liberating Love. We invite you to carry that theme with you as you're with us today and into your daily life when you leave here today. We strive to be a green sanctuary. It gives roots and wings to our vision of a world where all people build towards a sustainable future and make reverence, gratitude, and care for the living earth central to our lives. We want to acknowledge that our building sits on the unceded land of the Wabanaki Confederation, which includes the Abenaki, Maliseet, Micmac, Passamaquoddy, and Penobscot nations. We invite you to take home the order of service for information and announcements, or you may leave it for recycling as you exit the sanctuary. Please silence your cell phones as you join in our service today. A note, we will not have stuff projected up on the walls due to technical difficulties. And there probably should be a big sign here, please stand by, but they don't do that anymore. There will be a social hour in the parish hall after the service. Please join us.
Good morning. Know only that you are loved. For this moment, know only that you are loved, that you are safe and whole and loved. Know that you belong here among us upon this earth, in your body, however tired, however broken. Whatever fear, disappointment, anger you carry for this hour, know that you are not alone. Feel the presence of others surrounding you, breathing beside you and with you, discovering together the way our voices rise and fall next to each other, in harmony, in hope, in love. Claim here a resilient freedom, the choice for love, for light, to live with joy and gratitude and praise as a form of resistance to this world. Already we are organizing. Come, let us worship together. And I do have to say, I didn't edit out very well. There is no responsive reading, so don't feel like you're missing anything. Words to lighting our chalice. This is our sacred promise, to gather together in peace, to seek truth in love, to serve human need, so that all shall grow in harmony with the divine. And stand as you're able and join me in singing hymn number 361, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. Now is the time where we turn and greet our neighbors.
Oh, my How lovely. How lovely. You just, I mean, you could do a duet. Yeah. Thank you. On this side only. Morning, Mommy.
That's the only one.
Hello, everyone. I'm Reverend Myra Robinson, ordained as an interfaith minister at the Chaplaincy Institute of Maine, and I'm also a sound healer. So I'm going to do some crystal singing bowls. They already want to jump in. And this is a solfeggio-tuned chime tuned to 528 hertz, which is said to be one of the most healing tones that the human body can absorb. So hopefully you'll absorb all these vibrations all the way back, because they are very healing and can help you enter a really deep state of meditation and mindfulness. So go on a journey in your inner landscape, or just let the sounds keep you in the present moment, and we will enter ourselves. We'll come in.
Thank you, Myra. This is a time in our service when we invite people to share what is in their hearts, whether it is a great joy or a deep sorrow. It is not a time for announcements or political statements. If you wish, please come forward to light a candle. Tell us your name if you'd like, and share your joy or sorrow with us if you choose to do so.
We don't need this microphone, right? Brian handed it to me. Brian, I'm going to make an announcement. Didn't get into the program probably because I didn't ask Brian to do it, but we will be having a special congregational meeting immediately following church. Guess we get time for a cup of coffee and a snack? Paul says yes. So join us, please.
Hi, I'm Janine Wilson, and I'm asking for prayers today for my dear friend Pam, who's I've known since kindergarten, and she and I both have metastatic cancer together. Isn't that what friends are for? She's a lovely person, and she's in the hospital right now with some serious complications, and would greatly appreciate prayers.
Hi, I'm Donna, and this is a candle of joy. This weekend was Women in Harmony's winter concert. They've been performing, their social justice choir, been performing for about 30 years. And last night's and the night before, music was just beautiful and all on a theme of connectedness. There was lots of joy and some tears even, and I love watching Betsy up there singing.
Hi, I'm Diane, and I just lit a candle of celebration for the city of St. Paul, who have just installed their new city council, which is composed of all women, I believe all under the age of 40, and almost all women of color. And I think that can be a source of hope and inspiration for the rest of us.
Hi, my name is Melissa Warren. My auntie, who has been a lifelong or nearly a lifelong resident of Saco, and was someone who really helped me through a hard time, is now going to be going through a hard time. She'd been complaining about back pain and whatnot, and it turns out they found a 3-centimeter tumor in her lung, and it's metastasized and gone to her back. So she'll need lots of prayers. Again, she taught in Scarborough and Saco for 30 or 40 years and is really a beloved person, someone who, at a time where I didn't feel like I had a lot of purpose, gave me purpose in helping her. And I'm glad she's with my cousin, but I've been very lost without her calling me for a rotisserie chicken or to go get her creamer or something like that. But please keep her in her thoughts because she's got a rough road ahead of her. Thanks.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Patrick. I have a joy this morning. As you go across the street, I have a car. So yes, so I mean, I don't have to walk anymore. So thank you for all your prayers, and I'm mentally working better. My concussion is getting better slowly. So with time and all your prayers, it's all going to work out. Thank you, God. Thank you. Bye.
I'm going to light one last candle for the joys and sorrows left unspoken. Let us take a moment to hold what we have heard in our hearts.
This book is read with permission from Diane Alber.
A Little Spot of Love, written and illustrated by Diane Alber. Everyone needs to be loved. What grows a love spot? Hi, I'm a little spot of love. I'm the feeling you get when you care about someone or when someone cares about you a lot. I come from a lot of feelings and emotions. Peaceful, confidence, happiness, and I can get pretty big. But that's okay, because you never can have too much love. And everyone needs to be loved. When your love spot is big, you feel great about yourself, and you treat people better. That's why I want to show you all the ways you can grow a love spot. Let's start with words. Words are very powerful. Saying how you feel or saying something nice can help someone feel loved.
I love you.
Compliments can grow a love spot.
You are smart. You have a great smile.
Sometimes it's hard to say how you feel, and it's easier to write it out. Getting a surprise note or letter can help someone feel loved. Writing can grow a love spot.
Thank you so much for being there for me when I was sad. It really brightened my day. Love.
Words can also help you love who you are, too. Confidence can help grow a love spot.
Today is a new day. I will have a great start. I will listen to the voice inside my heart. I will let good thoughts inside my mind and tell myself I am brave. I am loving. I am kind.
In addition to using words, actions are another way to show you care. When you take the time to do something for someone else, it makes them feel loved. Kindness can grow a love spot.
I'll help you clean up.
Spending quality time with someone can make them happy and show them that they are important. To show someone focused attention, make sure your eyes are watching, your hands are still, your mouth is closed. Listening can grow a love spot. There are times when it's fun to be silly and giggly with someone too. You can play a game or just hang out. Friendship can grow a love spot. Take time to find things you enjoy too. Finding your peaceful spot can help you grow your own love spot. Receiving something from the heart can help someone feel appreciated. Gifts can grow a love spot.
I made this for you.
There are many ways to show affection when growing a love spot. Hugs can grow a love spot. High fives can grow a love spot. Fist bumps can grow a love spot. Waving can grow a love spot. Giving a thumbs up can grow a love spot. Now that you have seen all the ways you can grow a love spot, it's important to know that everyone likes to be loved differently. For example, some people like hugs, and some would rather have a high five. So I would love to know, what is your favorite way to grow your love spot? Words, compliments, saying I love you, actions, listening, helping, being kind, quality time, playing games, reading, listening, gifts, art creations, crafts, affection, hugs, high fives, fist bumps, thumbs up. Who grew your love spot today? Did you grow a love spot today?
How do you like to be greeted? High five. Fist bump. Wave. Thumbs up. Hope you liked our video. Please subscribe.
An Invocation to Liberating Love by Reverend Dr. David Breeden. Buildings speak, not in voices of stone, but in the hum of conversation, of flesh and bone gathering, nearly mystical at times. Almost we sense mental changes shattering. Almost we hear birds wrenching free of their cages, and the walls long hidden in the corners of our minds, walls so defining, hold us fast until together our voices rise. Trust blooming until there is a sky, blue, unending, judges withering like cut flowers, then, and love. Love is the ground on which we dance, singing of liberation. Please join in, stand as you're comfortable, singing hymn number 115, God of Grace and God of Glory.
The purpose of Unitarian Universalist Association is to actively engage its members in the transformation of the world through liberating love. Section C 2.1 verses 8 through 9 of Article 2 proposed from the General Assembly in Pittsburgh last year, the gospel according to General Assembly. Now, I don't mean to make light of this. I'm actually sorry I missed GA. There was great work done about values and covenant, interdependence, pluralism, justice, transformation, generosity, equity, inclusion, and freedom of belief. I appreciate the conversations and explorations about what these concepts mean and how they are central to our communities of faith. I believe that 2 members of our Ministry of Faith and Action team attended GA virtually and were really energized by the beautifully blended elements of worship and social justice work. I'm grateful that they participated on our behalf. When I was attending Bangor Theological Seminary studying for my Master of Divinity, I studied with some Unitarian Universalists. Bangor Theological Seminary was established as a congregational seminary in Maine in 1811, even before Maine achieved its liberation from Massachusetts. It was a pretty conservative seminary, establishing an alternative to circuit riders whose fast and loose theology, in the founder's opinion, was a threat to society. Unlearned clergy would lead to degradation of faith and a society as a whole. And I believe the founders of BTS were rolling in their graves when BTS began admitting Unitarian Universalist candidates. Universalists being known for universal salvation and circuit riding, which means, just for people who don't know this as a frame of reference, ministers who would go from church to church and preach the same sermon over a long period of time because there weren't settled ministers in those churches. So I studied with UU students in the early 2000s, and my systematic theology professor really had issues with the unarticulated nature of God, let alone the fact that the religion didn't even require a belief in God. I've never truly been conservative in any way, shape, or form, especially in my religious beliefs, but it did cause me a little disdain to think that a religion wouldn't have beliefs about God or the nature of humanity or humanity's purpose in the world. How could a tradition not have a shared creed or a shared sacred text? So that was my thinking when I got out of seminary. And I definitely always have been non-dogmatic, and I probably always had universalist tendencies, but I always had a connection to the Holy Spirit and the mystical pieces and parts of Christianity. And from what I observed of my UU peers, there was an absence of that mystical piece of faith traditions. This was my observation back in the day. There was a missing piece of a spiritual discipline. And while there's a common thread to the beginnings of Christianity and Unitarianism, the emphasis that I witnessed was the practical, intellectual, and action-focused nature of Unitarian Universalism, rather than on the spiritual side. Even though UUism is welcoming of all people, there didn't seem to me to be a mystical, supernatural thread. But what did I know? That this is a tradition of principles? I didn't even know that back then. Lived, applied, grappled with every day. Not that we always see them applied in the ways that we would recognize, because the beauty of diversity and about respect for people on their own journey is a recognition that we don't all arrive at the same place at the same time, or even at all for that matter. And we respect that as we honor the worth and dignity of all people, that they are all on their unique spiritual path. We stand ready to midwife each other's journey, not shut it down. And this harkens back to the reading I did a few years ago about the reality of church and what it looks like. Choosing to attend a church, you voluntarily become in relationship with people that you don't agree with, and some that you don't even like. And that's the call of authentic spirituality and spiritual community. And that is embedded in our principles here. Not a creed to recite, but an invitation to respect others and live our authentic beliefs and spiritualities next to people living their own, even when we don't necessarily agree. And that is liberating love. I love you not only despite our differences, but because of them. Ubuntu as a philosophy, as a South African philosophy, and a theology. I cannot be a fully unique and wonderful me unless you are fully you, and we create a unique something together. And as a theology modified by Desmond Tutu, I cannot know God or the divine without your experience of God or the divine, and thus our both knowing enlarges the possibility of what the term God even means. Those are words that reflect the principles and values we share here. I'll be me, you be you, and what we bring together is something that can't be replicated in any way. I'll think about what God means to me. I will listen to what you think about God or creator or source or nature or science. And together we will expand the ever-evolving meaning behind those words. It is unity in diversity. And I would even flip that and say it's diversity in unity. And therein lies the magic and the source of spirit and mysticism. It's present here. The love is a liberating force that is central to Unitarians and Universalists. One of the tenets of this faith is to constantly seek it, need it, engage with it, to see ourselves and each other through a lens of love, a highly mystical and spiritual task indeed. Liberation and liberating love as a concept or a theology is the concept that liberation comes from those who are being liberated. I don't liberate someone by exerting my power or privilege over their situation without their input. Only they can liberate themselves. It also often means that I don't invite them into power structures that have typically excluded them in the past, so they can come into those structures and tell us what would make it right for them. Liberation and liberating love is a self-examining love, a sometimes uncomfortable love, a love that requires that we live in the tension between where we are right now as a person, as a citizen, as a congregation, and where we want to be to fulfill our sacred purpose. Live into the tension. Liberating love creates tension. Article 2, Section 2.2, verses 1 through 2, love is the power that holds us together and is at the center of our shared values. Love is the power. We are accountable to one another for doing the work of living our shared values through the spiritual discipline of love. And when I think of spiritual disciplines, I think back to monks flogging themselves in the 12th century, which is a weird picture, I know. And I'm not sure all of you have thought about what spiritual discipline means. I'm going to invite you to that. But what does love as a spiritual discipline or practice look like? If we acknowledge that love is the fabric that holds us together, and we are accountable to one another for doing that work, in essence, this means that we don't get to show up to church, sing hymns, grab a cup of coffee, and call it good. It means engaging in the work of the church, lowercase c, uppercase c, our church, the bigger church, and engaging in our work together as if we don't have answers. And that's really hard for some of us, I know. Considering this, I believe that one way to practice love as a spiritual discipline is to practice what many Buddhists call beginner's mind, Shoshin. It's a concept in Japanese Zen Buddhism of having an attitude of openness, eagerness, and a lack of preconception. This is considered to be a loving practice as it's radically inclusive of another person. It is a state of pure curiosity without judgment. Beginner's mind. spiritual discipline of love. What would that look like in our context? What would it look like to cultivate an attitude of openness, eagerness, and a lack of preconceptions in our community? Bell Hooks, Black theologian, in her work called All About Love, sets out to define love and the way we can encounter it and develop it in our own lives and communities. The book's working definition of love is the will to extend oneself for the purpose of nurturing one's own and another's spiritual growth. And back to Liberating, I don't get to identify your spiritual growth for you. You have to do it, and that's the liberation. And just what we are talking about when we are talking about liberating love, making space for someone in the fullness of their being with their different ways of being and nurturing those differences so that they may grow and thus we may grow. Nurturing, making space, not knowing, fully including, liberating love. As a community, liberating love means creating a container in our group work that is an essential start of our processes. In committee, in teams, in ministries, every group develops norms or ways to behave or communicate that gets work done. Norms are always present, even if we don't recognize them, and they're not often spoken, and they're not often agreed to. When they arise by default, they mirror dominant culture, which often means the norms that created and sustained systems that suppressed or oppressed and excluded many are just a part of our daily life. The norms discourage creativity and fresh approaches to the work of the group. Creating a container means looking at these norms. Liberating love means looking at these norms, naming them, and remaining aware that they're there, whether we choose to change them or not, recognizing there is tension in how we do our work. This is often uncomfortable, so leaning into that discomfort and tension and leaning on and learning with each other is a must. Identifying and disrupting structures is uncomfortable. They always want to go back to their set way of being. They always want to self-correct. Supporting each other in the discomfort, naming the discomfort, holding it with a spirit of curiosity and beginner's mind will be transformational. Embrace paradox and pluralism. Our principles ask us to do that. So let's live into it. We should work to let go of the idea that there is one right way to do things. It stifles dialogue and learning. It stifles change. We are not simple people. We each hold a variety of ideas and beliefs that seem to contradict one another sometimes. So let's recognize that about other people in our lives, in the pews, in our meetings. We are all complex and contradictory. Welcome this in each other. It's the spice of life. Liberating love means we persist. We persist in creating sustainable systems and change, and that requires both an urgency and both patience. Even while we gain clarity about what is ours to do and make decisions, let's take informed action and make progress. There will always be deeper questions to address, feedback to integrate, changes to embrace. We don't make a decision and end the discussion. We make a decision, pay attention to how that decision impacts the group, and base our future actions by our new way of looking at things. This is a perpetual non-closure. That means there is a perpetual state of questioning, of beginner's mind. A community of liberating love will focus on learning and responsibility and not perfection. Liberation does not happen through a linear, obvious process of moving and not knowing. It happens through a period of deep and intentional inquiry that leads to breakthroughs and breakdowns that set the stage for future inquiries and discoveries and future breakthroughs and future breakdowns. Mistakes, setbacks, and even failures will happen, but liberating love begs that we stay in relationship while we navigate those. Sustainable social change in all arenas requires that we change how we do things as much as what we do. How we do things must change. That we let go of how things have always been by recognizing that there are new ways of doing them, and there are new people who look at it differently, and there are new voices and perspectives that are open, that are invited into an open system when we have beginner's mind. Article 2, Section 2.2, verses 35 through 36. Openness to change is a fundamental to our Unitarian and Universalist heritages, never complete, never perfect. Openness to change is fundamental to Unitarian and Universalist heritage. Never complete, pointing towards justice and equity, questioning norms and status quo, maintaining a beginner's mind, accountable to each other in love. That is what holds us together. That is a spiritual practice, and that is what sets us free. In all things, liberating love, and liberating love in all things, it's our core. And may it always be our core. And may it be so. When we gather together as a community, we bring the gifts of ourselves, our hearts, our spirits, our time, and our energy, our talents and skills to support the work of this church here and also in the larger community. We bring also our gifts of generosity, giving what we have so the work of this church may continue. As always, half our offering will be sent into the larger community to support the work of an agency doing important work. This month, we are sharing our offering with Seeds of Peace International, doing great work to bring peace to the Middle East. If you are watching from home, donations may be made through the Give button at the top of our webpage, uuchurchsacobiddeford.com, or checks may be mailed to UUCSB, 60 School Street, Saco. This morning's offering will now be received.
please remain standing as we say the words to extinguish the chalice. As we release this flame from its faithful service today, and join us in singing hymn number 108, My Life Flows On in Endless Song.
Please be seated. May we all emerge from dwell within by be transformed by and called back to love. And may your mind be humbled before this mystery. May your heart grow hopeful by it. May you be sustained by this love always.
I Know This Rose Will Open by Mary Gregolia. If you know the words, please say them in your mind as I play 3 times through.
Our service is now concluded. Thank you so much for joining us today. It was a pleasure to have you. Please remain seated for our postlude and join us for coffee and a congregational meeting following the service.